and welcome to the introduction to the course How to Recognize the Red Flags in Early Childhood Children. This is just an overview of the course that will be online later, okay? The course will cover social and emotional cognitive development from 18 months to 4 years old, red flags, how to recognize the red flags by age, most common learning difficulties, strategies, how to deal with them inside the classroom. If you think you need to observe and make a report, to refer the child and then setting up a meeting with parents, okay? This is not, in this course, you are not going to learn how to diagnose. It's for you to recognize and refer the child, and then is the parent's decision or family. Some delays that children can have, but it's not necessarily learning disability. They can overcome these delays, failure to meet some milestones. The child falls outside the range of development and it's not momentarily. To be a learning disability needs to be consistent and over a period of time, okay? Learning disabilities. It's a chronic neurological condition that affects the development, integration, and verbal and non-verbal abilities. Can affect self-esteem, education, living activities, families, the family dynamic, and the future of the child. Misconceptions. There are some misconceptions about learning difficulties or learning disabilities. Denotes a lack of intelligence. No, not necessarily. Will get better as they get older. No, it's a long period of time. Can be easily identified. No, sometimes it can't. We're going to see this here. Some red flags in general: delayed speech, pronunciation problems that nobody can understand, but parents are always translating the child, okay? Short attention span, difficulty with buttoning, zipping, and tying. It means difficulty in daily activities, cannot learn them, cannot follow simple instructions like get your backpack, open your backpack or your lunch, right? After 3 years old, the child can set up their own lunch at the table. Difficulty learning new words, numbers, days of the week, shapes, colors, and the alphabet. It means the child has a lot of difficulty learning all of that. Prevailing learning disabilities, expressive language, involves difficulty with language processing, affects communication of thoughts. The child thinks something and cannot express with words, and can also have difficulty in receptive language, like following simple instructions, cannot understand what people are asking them. Dyslexia, difficulty in reading basic skills, cannot understand the relationship between letters, words, and sounds, has difficulty understanding large passages, phrases, and words. Like, for example, cannot understand that we have a consonant and the vowel to make a sound. And it has a lot of difficulty in that. Sometimes children only need glasses, so be very careful when labeling a child. Dysgraphia, basic writing skills, cannot even make hypotheses of how to write their own names, involves comprehension and organization, and difficulty in producing written words and letters, like cannot even make hypotheses of the words, the written words. Dyscalculia, trouble with problem solving, not just with numbers, but even problem solving in between children and their relationships. Inability to understand the meaning of numbers, difficulty in basic math, like recognizing the colors and the words and the numbers and correspondence one to one, cannot understand basic math concepts. Sensory processing disorders, SPD. This for me is very hard to recognize because it's a difficulty to process an information receiving through senses. So it's a child that cannot feel cold and hot or feel the smells too hard, being labeled as clumsy. So the child cannot uh, walk around the classroom and very disruptive because a child cannot understand and process a lot of information. So we can get confused with other diseases. Before labeling or um, talking to the parents or making an observation, we need to take some things into consideration. Physical development, the skills of the child, own culture, habits, and family structure, interaction child-child and child-adult. Um, Nowadays that we have, families moving around, even in their own countries, we need to understand how the family is set up, right? And the values and the culture and even the habits for each family. So before labeling, take into consideration that we have a lot of cultures and we need to accept different values nowadays. Um, we need to interact a little bit with this child before labeling or observing. Like, for example, praise, but praise right away after the child does something right. So saying, good job, not you're a good girl or bad boy. Don't say that. It's better not to say. Get praise with what they have done. Encouragement, like, oh, you could jump here. Try a little bit more, or try to do it better next time. And Um, reinforce the focus so the child can focus a little bit more. Listen very carefully to the child and the family. Sometimes families are going through um, some problems that it affects the child in the school, like for example, divorce or a grandparent that died. So understand the family, okay? Or a parent that the job, and creativity. Try to find activities and ways to teach. This is not just for this child, but for your class in general. Use this the gardener's multiple attention so everybody can feel comfortable, learning. This is the class, a little bit about the class. If you have any questions, please leave a comment here or send me a message to bettinasirson1 at gmail.com. The class will have in-depth observation and how to write a report. So keep in touch and I'll see you later. Bye.